Hi, this is Kathy from Scrappy Counselor Designs, and today I'm going to share with you a couple of a tutorial which I'm sure many of you might have already seen, but for those who have not, I'm going to make this little tiny album. It's really cute, lots of places for photographs, tags, journaling, all kinds of things. Great for birthdays, anniversaries, friendship, you know, a job well done, birth announcements, for new babies, new friends. The list is endless, but let's go ahead and get started. This is actually made from a one piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. I use double-sided because then you can have a choice of sides, but you could use one piece of paper. I mean one-sided cardstock if you wish. And to get started, you go ahead and you take about your 12 by 12 cardstock and you go ahead and you score it on the 3-inch, the 6-inch, and the 9-inch. Then you go ahead and pick up your paper and turn it around, and again you're going to score on the 3-inch, the 6-inch, and the 9-inch. And you get a piece of paper that has 12 grid lines. Now what I do, just so the lines are a little more distinct, the score lines, I go ahead and use my bone folder and fold it over. I've tried this video many, like 4 or 5 different times now, just trying to get it under the 15 minutes. I probably should look into seeing how I can go ahead and increase the time, but I'll try to allow for the 15 minutes. And I go ahead and I use my bone folder or my fingers just to go ahead and score. And when you get it scored, you're going to actually see the score lines even better, or the 12 little boxes. So you've got a square of 12 little individual boxes. So then you take your cutting, and you're going to cut on the first and the third line. The center line you're going to cut separate. But first you're going to go ahead and do the first and third. Some days I have two left thumbs or 2 right thumbs. And you're going to not cut down on the first box. So you no cut lines on that first box. So you get down there and that, go ahead and cut it down. And then you move it over to the third, and you're going to then cut up to that square. And the piece of paper is going to look like this. Then on the center one, you're going to do you're going to actually cut the top on the top score line, but you're going to stop at the last one. So you're not going to go all the way through the paper. So your paper ends up looking like this on both sides. And to decide which paper, I want the blue paper showing this time. So and the way you fold it is all going to depend on which color is up. So if you folded from the top and you see the red, well then you're going to know that your blue is going to be your main work surface. Now if you actually started folding and you come up with just do it just the opposite, then what's going to show in the end is this is going to be against your cover. and so then you'd be working on the red paper. But basically when you get to the end, you fold it over, and then you just keep folding like an accordion all the way down. And then you get down to that next one, you're going to flip it back over, and then you're going to flip, flip, flip. So when you end up, you're going to end up with a little accordion book looking like this. So then once you get this done, you want to leave the back two flaps like this to be able to adhere to your cover. And while I got the cutter close by, I'll go ahead and I will cut. I'm using just some plain paper for the cover sheet. So, and I'm cutting the covers just a little bit larger than the outside cover. I mean the 3 by 3 squares. So I'm doing it 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and that will give me a little bit of lip for the book. You can center then the book on. Making sure it was all nice and even. Okay, so now that once you have all your pieces cut, you can go ahead and put your cutter away. Okay, and then I have my outsides, and then I take my ATG gun, and I'm going to start putting the pages together. And since this is going to be this side, this is going to be my first page, and this one I want to add pockets to. So by doing that, you just want to be real careful where you place your glue, so you can end up with a pocket. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. I was off on a score line. Don't know which one, but and even if you're off just a tad bit on your score lines, you're going to end up with a lip, obviously. But I'm going to go ahead. So here is my pocket on the first one, and it's important as you go down to make sure that it's kind of okay. And how I figured out that I was off is I can actually see right here I was not flush to the score line, and so that's why it's real important to make sure you're cutting straight onto your score line. And that's what kind of got my first pocket off, but I'm going to go ahead and deal with that at a later time. I always figure there's no mistakes, there's just challenges in making. So you just basically, you're going to do this all the way down, and now I have a pocket for a tag right here. And then as you fold, then the next one, the pocket will need to be up here. So I put my thumb so I know where I'm going to be. So then I have my pocket at the top, and you just basically, you just kind of keep folding your paper all the way down so that until you get to the end, and then you can embellish and put your tags on, put your cover on. What I'm going to do to cover up my mistake, I've been thinking as I've been gluing, is I'm going to add a little tiny soft binding, which a lot of these books I do not add a Oh, I did that on the wrong side. Oh, what the nice thing is about this ACT is if you actually get glue where you don't want it, you just go ahead and rub it off. And it rubs off really, really, as long as you do it quickly. Yeah, and it just kind of... And this is just kind of doing it in a hurry. I'm trying to keep under the 15 minutes. And so you know that some things you like to ponder on, because I tend to be a perfectionist, which can be or cannot be detrimental to one's again. And then this will be a top pocket again, so I want to make sure that, and by doing that, that also kind of helps guide where my tape should be. It's more on the outsides or on the spine side. Anyway, that kind of completes the putting it together kind of book. And so then once you do that, you can go ahead and I've got a little space here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it so my spine is even. And so I'm going to obviously have a little bit more of my cover, or I believe in this case it will be my cover. And when you're placing this on the back, you don't want it too much of this paper hanging in this area, because it kind of interferes with the opening and the closure of your little album. And and do the same on the back cover. And I kind of put it flat on the table so I can tell that if somebody wanted to sit it wouldn't be lopsided. So yeah, and basically that's how you basically put the books together. It's really pretty quick, very simple. I like to be a perfectionist, so I like to take a lot more time in making sure that, you know, everything is perfect. And a lot of that will be done in scoring and of cutting of your book, because like, see, this one is a little, and it catches, so if you catch that, go ahead and just, I take it off and I just reposition it. Sometimes I have to do a new cover or a new back. This time I think I can save it, so that's good. Anyway, I hope everybody had a really good holidays. I'm kind of glad in some ways that they are over, and we can get right back into the things of life and get back into the swing of things. So anyway, that's how you put the book together. Now this one, as I said, I've done earlier, and I actually added some tulle and some fiber, added flowers. I actually glimmer misted a couple